Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, let's talk about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union one more time and their 50-50 situation. Seems like earlier this week, Dwayne Wade was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, what's it called? Club Shay Shay, Uncle Shay Shay. And he spoke about Gabrielle Union's 50-50 comment and how everybody, is talking about it, going at her, going at him, or whatever. Anyway, so he comes out and he tries to explain the situation, saying that he believed that it was triggered when they was living in Miami, because right now they live in LA, but we'll get to that in a second. He said they was living in Miami in the house that he bought, the house that he built, whatever, that something was said and he was like, this is my house that I bought, putting his foot down. And so she got triggered, got butt hurt, and said, oh, if that's so, and she's like, I never again would allow a man to be above me like that, or to say anything like that, to make me feel that way, pretty much. And it goes back to her first marriage to, I can't remember the guy's name, but she was saying how she made all the money. I think they didn't have a prenup, or he was an NFL player. She was an actress. But when they got divorced, she said she just got, screwed, wiped out, like most men do. But she want to play the man roles. What's she mad about? So I guess she goes back on that. And then when she gets in the situation or the relationship with Dwayne Wade, thinking everything is all great, all gravy, he hits her with this is my house that I built. I'm thinking, is that what you want? You either want to have it all, but your husband will take it if y'all get a divorce, or y'all pretty much on equal playing field, so you think, and he takes everything in a divorce? Or do you want to go ahead and, play that submissive, making less money role and allow your husband to control everything, or be the breadwinner? And then when he hits you with that, this is my house, you get upset. So then you say, okay, well, let's do it 50-50. One wasn't working for you, the other one wasn't working for you. Or let's just say it wasn't what you wanted to hear. And I say that to say this. Now you want to do 50-50. Now she want to do 50-50, but she's in the interview pretty much complaining and crying that it's kind of stressing her a little bit because she's taking care of other people. So that's what Dwayne Wade was saying. He was saying like she wants to do 50-50. So when we bought this house in California, we went half on the house. You're like, all right, but now she's complaining, voicing her frustration about, or maybe she's bragging about what she's doing. I don't know. Who knows in that woman's head? But she's sounding like she's voicing her concern and frustration that she has to take care of other people. And it's weighing heavy on her. Granted, she's probably not making a whole lot of acting money. I don't know what she's doing behind the scenes. I'm sure she's making money, though, for sure. I'm sure she has a value at millions. Tens of millions of dollars. Dwayne Wade is valued at probably made over $200 million and still making money off of investments and sports teams he owning and stuff like that. But she is stressing in interviews about having to pay 50-50. But this is what you wanted. So this is where the statement that women don't know what they want, they don't know what they want. They want the rules to change as the lives go along. And she just proved that. And that's what men believe. And she just validated our belief. So she got upset, want to do 50-50. And Dwayne Wade was like, well, she got her mother, her sisters or her siblings, her dad, and then herself. He said, me, what do I take care of? I take care of my life. So he pretty much, like most men, would be like, hey, I got my stuff straight. Nothing I do is going to stress me out. Because I'm going to tell you like this, true. from a personal standpoint, I've always said that I will not allow anyone to break me, to drown me in debt under my own doing, especially if they're like grown people who are able and capable of taking care of themselves. Now, parents are a little different, and we'll get into that here in a second too. But for grown people who able-bodied, who can take care of themselves, do what they need to do, I just can't see. No, I just can't do it. They're not going to break me. I can help you, whatever the case may be, give you a little assistance. But other than that, nothing long term. Because, I work too hard to get to where I am. Now, something happened on my part, on my end, something I can't control, and it happens. It is what it is. If I gotta start over, hell, I do it. I've done it before. But for some, but for me being generous to people, helping people out continuously, and they're not growing, they're using and not, they're abusing and not using correctly. Yes, that would be a problem. So again, Gabrielle Union, you need to figure it out. Either you're going to, be that wife. Look at her. Number one, Dwayne Wade should have stood on his square. When he said that was his house, he should have stood on it. And I'm sure he wasn't being malicious. He's just like saying, damn, no, this is not going to happen this way. This is how this is going to work in this house. Shouldn't have, and it shouldn't have been like no retract or no, okay, well, we're going to do things 50-50 from now on. Because now they done did 50-50. Because look at her. They done put half, and when half on the house they got now. So she goes into financial dire straits and struggling with her 50-50. She gonna blame him because he should have stood up and been like, he make all the money. Her family gonna blame him. You already see that fans in the comment sections of this story, they blame him and already calling him, weak and stuff like that. Which again, like I said, he should have stood on his square. If it's his, if he, he paying the majority of the bills, if that's his house, he needs to take control. But just as a man, period. Or if he not paying the majority of the bills, or not his house or whatever, the man should be supposed to be the leader of the house, period. That's just how it's supposed to go. I don't care what nobody say, whatever the case may be. So now you got a woman out here publicly pretty much calling you out, saying that, oh, I'm stressing because I can't really say I'm the head of the household. First of all, ain't no woman should ever say she's the head of the household. Because again, like I said in my last video, head of the household is somebody who's single. Got a kid, single parent, don't have a husband or don't have a wife. You head of the household because you got dependents, not two married people. But if you're going to be head of the household, you need to do it like nature and let that man be, and let that man be the head of the household. So basically, I feel like she had it made. You had it made. You had a man that's made $200 million. Keep your little million. Now, his $200 million is $199,999,000 more than what I have. Okay, but when I say she need to keep her little money, it's like, hey, he got all this money. Keep your little money. Do what you want to do, because that's how most men want to do it. They want to take care of their family, and I'm sure he does everything he needs to do to take care of his family with no problems. But he play her little game. That's cute. Oh, you want to go half? That's fine. But he said they go half on vacations and things of this nature, which to me, like I said, it's just ridiculous. In my house, I'd be like, look, you want to go somewhere, just tell me what you want to do, and I'll figure out a way to pay for it or whatever. We'll come up with something. Ain't got to be no 50-50. It wouldn't have to be no 50-50, nothing like that. Car notes, stuff like that. It ain't got to be 50-50 or whatever. We'll just figure it out. Because to me, it's kind of like giving Christmas gifts and everybody giving gift cards. It doesn't make sense, because if I give you a $100 gift card at Lowe's and then you give me a $100 gift card at Home Depot, what the hell's the difference? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and so I stopped giving gift cards. I take them all day, but I stopped giving gift cards, and I actually try to figure out a gift to get you. And if you don't like it, you can take it back. But this is something that I had to think of to give a person, then just say, hey, I'll here, give them a gift card. That'd be easy. No, doesn't matter who you are. I'm gonna try gift cards to be the last thing on my list. Like if I don't forgot everything, and it's like the day it's the minute of it, I'm on my way. Like, oh hell, I forgot. You know, go grab a gift card, go hand it to them. But other than that, nah. Like I said, I'm gonna buy the gift. So pretty much, back to the story. Gabrielle Union pretty much, you know, cut off her nose, spite her face. You know, want to be hard, want to be independent, want to be a boss. That stuff don't work. Never works in marriage. Cause like I say, she doesn't know what she wants, right? She wants to be a boss, but she wants to be protected. But she wants to have like permission, really, to contribute to a man who really don't need your contributions. But women really do not want to be controlled, and they know that money is what the man can mainly base, or what they feel is what men mainly base their control over, is with money. If a man makes money and they dependent on a man, then they'll feel like they can't do anything. But the difference between her situation and most of these women out here is, again, she has millions. So if your husband has 200, 300, whatever he's worth, making millions of dollars, do you ever see Tom Brady's wife say, well, ex-wife say anything, or Michael Jordan's wife say anything about money, or even Kobe's wife when he was, alive, or even now? Should you ever see them say anything about 50-50 and don't want a man control? Hell no. Heck no. Haven't heard LeBron James' wife say anything, or Cookie Johnson. Ain't heard, but Dwayne, but Gabrielle Union, you picked one. But again, her situation is different because most of these women, like I say, aren't in a situation where their man has a lot of money, but they have a lot of money too. So it's like she would do great. She would do just fine. She would do right by allowing him to do what he do. Let him continue to be the man of the house. But if because they think it sounded prenup, so maybe that's what she worried about. Let him do what he do. But if they divorce, she still got her money. If push comes to shove, she might have changed the lifestyle a little bit, but she still got millions and the potential to make millions over the rest of her life. Unlike a lot of these women who sit here and don't want a man to control them, they have a few, make a few $1,000s, tens of thousands of dollars, and their husband make about the same amount of money. So they're like, oh, I gotta make money because I don't want to be controlled by no man. Like, what? Like, I don't get it. You make your money, but if your man is willing, which a lot of us are, to take care of you financially, man, you let that ride. You let that ride and let the chips fall where they may. Take the stress off of you, because we go through stresses and financial stresses and worries all the time, but we get out there and make it happen because we'd rather be out there. We just want to be appreciated, shown appreciation, not no back talk, not no lip, you know what I'm saying, not no whatever the case may be. I can do this by myself and I'm grown, but we don't want to hear all that. All we want to hear or see or feel is some appreciation for what we do. Because we're not perfect. We do the best we can. But real men try to make sure their family's taken care of. Even if they can't do it right then and there, they're going to work their tail to try to get to that point. And sometimes women just ain't patient enough. And then they end up in a situation that they don't want to be in because the guy that they with, he's working on himself, trying to go to school, going to school, allowed you to get your money and go to school and trying to get his stuff going. And this just seems like people forget that, that he was the one taking care of the family before you got to where you was getting to. Now he's trying to move up and do his thing, and ain't good enough for you. think you're gonna control the man, and he ain't never been like that and ain't gonna be like that. And it's like, shoot, nah, he might be nice and friendly, but he ain't gonna be controlled by now a woman. He gonna go out there and do it, and it ain't fast enough for you. So then, you know, you end the relationship, the next thing you know, he done got to where he needed to get, and who knows what your relationship. Anyway, I want to segue to this with Gabrielle Union's situation, and it is about the finances. And again, like I say, she's in a situation that a lot of black women are not in financially. But there's a book that I've been reading. I'm on page like 156 right now. It's an easy read. It's about 220 pages. I think I'll be done with this by the weekend. I'll be done with most of it by the end of the night, depending on how I'm feeling, because it's a good read, and it's called The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy Brown. She's a tax lawyer. It said how the tax system impoverishes black Americans and how we can fix it. And man, I'm not gonna get into a bunch of stats. You can Google it, you can look it up yourself. But one of Gabrielle Union's issues is that Dwayne Wade says that she is taking care of family members. Now, I really have no problem with taking care of parents, because parents took care of you all your life. So it should come full circle if they need you. They need it when they get older. A lot of black parents don't have the luxury of having wealth when they retire. I'm gonna say, well, it says that the average black family may have, let's say if a black, compared to black and white people, if they have the same education, if they have the same employment or career, even to have the same salary, because a lot of times salaries are different based on some form of discrimination. And this book goes into like 401ks, retirement, pensions, taxes, how rich people fought for these laws, like the way the tax laws are now, that you really need to study and research and try to get that stuff changed, because it benefits the wealthy. It's not outright racist. Can't be. It's unconstitutional. But you're in a system to where everything else benefits the other people. So these tax laws and tax codes is going to benefit them too. And like I say, they have, since the early mid 1900s, have fought Congress, the Supreme Court, to get tax laws in their favor. When you got schools like, let's say, Stanford, who got these billions of dollars, in funding, that they have an endowments, and they can supposed to be taxed at a certain rate. They can go to Congress and to the courts and say, hey, we're not paying that tax, because if we pay that tax, then it's going to hurt student what's called scholarships and financial aid. We're only giving like a few $100 million compared to the billions they have. And they can go to the courts and they fight to get those tax rates reduced and or eliminated, and they win. We don't have a chance. So when you got somebody who's complaining about the 50-50, understand, like I say, she's in a situation that a lot of us are not in. A lot of black professionals or adults, like I say, even if we make the same, let's say we have the same jobs as the counterparts, even if we may have the same salary, we still only have like a few $100s of wealth compared to them who have thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in wealth. Because a lot of us, we either have student loans or we're taking care of family. And a lot of times we're taking care of parents or grandparents, sending them money because they don't have money. They live on fixed income. Inflation is killing them. They got houses that's paid off, but the taxes are going up because houses around them are being sold and rebuilt and appraised for way higher values, which is bringing up the values in their neighborhoods of their house. And so now they live fixed income, and the crappy insurance they get, and all this kind of stuff, they can't afford to live. So we get paid, we make money, but then we got to give it to family, or we give it to grown ass kids who, you know, who you hope, which I can't really knock that, because as long as they're doing, I'm talking this about kids, as long as they're moving forward, doing what they need to do to try to do better in life, to make a life for themselves and their children, I got no problem with it. And we'll just keep it at that. Because I don't pay tuition to help pay bills. Hell, I had kids give me money before. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it works, but I done got to the point, but that's in the past. You know, that's fine. You know, help them go to school, get a trade, education, whatever. Got no problem with it. And we'll leave it at that. But that's where the difference is. We can make all the money in the world, but black people are giving it to family members. They are helping support family members with the money they make, so they cannot create generational wealth. But white people, on the other hand, I knew a lady who stayed actually around the corner from me. Walking one day, saw, you know, outside talking, and I think we had like living with us, and so, you know, well, white people like to talk. And so we had a whole conversation. She was telling me how her son, either her son or her daughter, but whichever one, married to the husband or engaged or whatever, they were living with her, and they had good jobs, but they were living with her to save up money so they can get them a house. And in the neighborhood that I'm living in at the time, their house over there might have been valued anywhere from $250,000, $350,000, you know, $250,000, $100,000. So, and this was maybe 5 years ago. So they, older white lady, that's what it was. She had her little grandkid walking and stuff like that. I remember that. Okay, but she would be watching her little granddaughter while her son and daughter or in-law, whatever, were working, so they can get a house. She's like, oh, I can't wait till they move out. But that's what they're doing. They building to get their own place. Same thing with the family down the street. Daughter, son-in-law, live with them for a while. Once they got their money straight, got them a house. Tell me, how many of y'all, of our people, how many of y'all can do that? How many of y'all kids are making a lot of money, enough money to where you can say they can stay here, save their money, and then can go and get their own place? You used to be able to do that. That used to be able to be the case. I remember my first apartment, $425, all bills paid. It's like 1995, 96. All bills paid, in the hood, whatever, but like I say, it wasn't really no problem. But $425, all bills paid, 1-bedroom apartment. You can work at Walmart full time. You can work at a warehouse full time and afford that. Hell, you can move out and get a 2-bedroom apartment 6 months later. Same thing. Still can afford it. You know, it might be a little tough, but you can afford it as long as you got a car. Well, they have like a little car note. But anyway, little, you know what I'm saying, a couple $100 for a car note. If that, $150, $200 for a car note. You know, $400, $500, $600, $550 for rent. No problem. We're talking 26 years ago, 26, 27 years ago. But now, even if you can't afford an apartment on your salary, they want you to make 3 times the rent. Even if it's just, if you can make enough to where 50% of your salary is going to the rent, they said, no, you got to make 3 times the amount of rent, which around here are just some old apartments that ain't no way in hell I would live there unless I had to, unless I was forced to. But under my own cognition, won't do it. Got to get me a nice house, or I'll move somewhere. If I'm gonna live in something like that, then I'm moving out to the country, getting me a double wide, putting on the land, and call it a day. It's simple as that. We're just gonna be economically sound. You just gotta be. But with inflation, increasing prices, minimum wage still at stagnation, still stagnant. We're living in times where your grown kids are going to have, most likely going to have to move back in with you. And it's not to try to save some money to find somewhere to live if it's in a decent area. They're going to have to live with you because they just can't afford, apartment, because nobody is really making that much money out here working these average jobs. State of Texas, minimum wage still $7 or something. Again, gotta make $17.50 to be able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment and $21 to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. So if you got kids, you'll be making at least $21, $25 an hour. Most people make that much money, have been working for years. Or unless you got doing a contract job, then you can make, 20 something dollars an hour, but where your benefits? You get no health benefits doing contract, working for the agencies and stuff. It just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's no, you know what I'm saying? You got to give, you can't have them both. You got to have one or the other. But if you're making real good money, then you can get, job with benefits, this, that, and the third, and be able to take care of your family. But like I'm saying, right now, in the meantime, your family got to move in with you. Y'all have to, they got to move in with you, and they just going out. You gonna be living in the house like the Ewans, but with no money, living in one house, But this is where I think about my own life. I think about my parents and the blessing that the Most High have given me. Up until this point, I'm always grateful because my parents, I seen how they did it. I have 2 parents that were stable and had their head on their shoulders. My mom, a little old small one light town, and right now it's still one light where she from. Little one light town, racist growing up. She said she wanted to be a nurse or a doctor, and the teacher telling her, oh, you'd be good as, custodian or washing, cleaning the house, whatever. Anyway, she became a nurse. My dad, he from a little country town, a little small town too, just a little small town, still small town. Now they trying to build up, trying to buy the land out there, but people trying to buy land out there to turn to what, I don't know. But he grew up a little small town. I think he had like 7 siblings. My mom had 12 or 13 siblings. But they came to Dallas and they made something of themselves. Now my dad was the youngest of his side, on his family, so he seen everybody else and how his brothers and how his siblings came to Dallas and made something, and he was pulled right along with them. My mom the same way. Had an aunt. Matter of fact, when the summertime, they would live in a older sibling's house, which was right behind each other. And that's how they met. But they made it. They come from little small towns. I know my grandmother, she always used to tell when she was living that she worked at Curtis Mathis and retired from Curtis Mathis. I never seen my grandma work a day of my life. But she retired, got a little pension. My dad was, it's like you in the right place at the right time. He come to Dallas. I forgot. He said going to school. Said he wanted to. I forgot what he was pursuing, but he could draw. Was an artist, and some guy asked him, "Do you thought about drafting? You ever heard of drafting?" He was like, "What is that?" I said, "Look, and research. We talking about the 70s, like mid 70s." And like, "What is that?" And he said, "It's just down the third. Looked into it. Went and got the job. Went and looked it up. Went to school for it. Got a job with the city." And he worked for the city, retired, got pension, worked for the county for some years, got retirement for them. Now he's retired, making money from the city and the county. My mom was a retired nurse, making money from, the city or whatever, the school district, or whatever her retirement is. So me and my sister, we saw that. And so it's at a point to where right now, I don't have to worry about sending money to my parents. I want to talk to them about their retirement and old age and getting old. It is what it is. And they were like, we ain't got to talk about that, Marlon. We got that taken care of. I'm like, cool. That's fine, But I'm sure we'll visit it in the future. And, my mom and my dad, they both got health issues. Hell, they 70, around about today. So yeah, they're gonna have health issues. They're closer to the end than they are from the beginning. So hell, most of us are, like the majority of us. But we don't have to worry about sending them money. And if anything comes and happens, I believe that me and my sister will be able to manage it, because we both make real good money. I mean, we both make good money here. My sister a doggone me doctor, for crying out loud, and she do other things. So it is what it is. But everybody is not in my situation. Just like my mom, like I said, she's a nurse. She thought about quitting. She told me stories about her thinking about quitting nursing. She thinking about the racism she dealt with growing up, and also in the nursing field. But she got through it, and now they're like in their 60s. My dad been retired, truthfully, for about 17 years. No, shoot. Probably about 18, 19, damn near 20 years from the city. Damn, like really. Yeah. My mom probably retired maybe like a couple years. So my dad been retired since he was like in his 50s. If I can retire when I'm in my 50s, man, I would be so happy. But again, a lot of our people, we don't have that benefit. I'm not going to say that we don't have opportunities. Now, we don't have opportunities. I'm not going to say we don't have opportunities to make a way, but there's not a lot. But we may not have as many opportunities to make the type of money or to have type of benefits that the white people have, and which is why the racial wealth gap is so vast. Which is why in one of my last videos I said that the racial wealth gap should not be the focal point of really any conversation that we have about doing for ourselves and coming up and making money and and doing better financially, because the gap is just too vast. Like I said, unless they give us them reparation checks, it's just not gonna. It's not gonna do it in our lifetime, and it's gonna be a conversation that's gonna continue on for generation, as long as we just keep complaining about it and don't do nothing about it. Feel me? So my thing is, what we gotta concentrate on is what we can do for our household. Remember, it's about fixing. Charity starts at home. Fixing your house first. If every black person concentrates on the 4 walls they live in, like James Evans wanted JJ and Michael to become a Supreme Court justice. He's gonna work his butt off to make sure that Michael got to where he needed to be. Period. If all of us had that kind of mentality, I myself, same thing. I said I work my butt off. I said I work 2-3 jobs to get my kids through school if need be, or get them to where they need to get to, so they can be financially stable. Hell, something else to get them to where they need to get to, so where they can be financially stable as adults. Because it gotta be. That's how you do it. You do that in your home to make sure you and your family are taken care of for the next 100 years. And as every child is born and every generation is born after that, they are taught that same thing. And you keep your family, and you tell your kids to pick people, partners, husbands, wives, with the same mindset, who have the same, hopefully, family structure, stable family, or somebody with a stable mindset. And y'all keep that same thing going. As time goes on, it will get better. Like I say, we might not ever catch up to white folks' wealth, and that's fine. Let them have their money. That's fine. What they say was theirs, and what's yours is yours. For all of y'all Bible thumpers and listen to the preacher all the time. So if that's their money, give Caesar, render Caesar what belongs to Caesar, whatever. But whatever's supposed to be yours, you'll get it. Put the work in. Like I said, I don't see myself. hopefully, I'm working, to try to become financially stable to where I can have, residual income or money that just comes, keep working and making good money to where, I can live comfortably while doing what I'm doing. And that's what I'm working for. And that's what we all got to do. Everybody that I know of black people didn't have the same benefits as I did growing up. Well, I do know people had two family households, and they are still taking care of their family. But again, it's like I say, it's just the cards you dealt. But you try to make it better for your younger ones. That's why I read. I say it all the time, man. I read books. Like I say, you read this book, and it's like a 50-11 stats. You can get it that you can look in here and see the percentages of, wealth, taxes, student loans, student debt, financial aid, all this kind of stuff, wages, how wages are different, all this kind of stuff. You can look at this book and, like I say, many other books. And again, if you doubt what she's saying, again, she's a tax lawyer. Was it Dorothy Brown? Again, if you doubt what she's saying, she got a lot of pages here with footnotes where you can do the research yourself. So that's why I say I could have sat here and looked at this book and, wrote all the stats and highlighted and read it out. I'm like, nah, I want you to look at it. I want you to look it up. Google it. Go get you a tangible copy. Like I told you, I don't like digital copies because they can take it. Now, if you have a tangible and a digital, that's fine. Because I got books like that where I got them on my phone and also got them in hard, paperback. So, so if I ain't at home and I ain't gonna take the book, I can look it up, but I can read it when I'm on the road or doing something. But if I'm at home or if I'm on vacation or somewhere sitting quietly, I'm reading. But like I said, look it up, read it yourself. That's where you got to start. If you want something bad enough, you'll look it up, you'll read it yourself. And this kind of stuff is what I teach my family, teach my kids, teach grandkids, teach other people. Hell, teach other people my age, older, even younger. Say, look, this is where we stand, and this is what we this is what we dealing with. Don't just complain about it. Just say, hey, this is what we need to do to fix it for your house. This is what you do in your household to fix a problem. And if everybody can think about that, or if enough people can live like that, the black community is gonna be fine. It'll be better than it'll be better than ever. And then we'll understand that we are on code, and we won't need a leader. Just like other ethnic and racial groups, we don't need to worry about a leader to lead us to the promised land and rah, so we can have some kind of emotional, some kind of emotional feelings when they talk to us. When we already know what to do, we just got to do it. So that's all I'm saying. So yeah, tell me what you think about this. Like I said, I can ramble forever, but tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and share it with the world. Gabrielle Union, you got it made. Leave well enough alone. You should have just kept your money. Let Dwayne Wade do his thing. Whatever because whatever you could done, you could have said, hey, I'll pay for vacation. Hey, I'll buy Christmas gifts. Hey, I'll do this and the third for the kids. Let Dwayne and let D Wade take care of all the bills. And just let bygone, leave well enough alone. Damn, like I said, if y'all divorce, you still got it made. Just reduce the stress in your life. God dog, be smart about it. Anyway, that's all I got. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.